Hello, Patty here, the country wife from Vermont, now living in South Carolina. Little quick update. The last 3 weeks have been very difficult. And Sunday morning, my husband of 53 years woke up in heaven. Not something I planned for or ever wanted. That's all I'll say on that subject. Our anniversary is this coming the 13th of this month. 53 years. Wonderful. Anyway, I learned a bunch of stuff in the last 3 weeks. Much of that I didn't really want to know, but that's the way it goes. You learn stuff every time. And I will tell you that one of the things I learned, I'm going to share with you today as I complete the project. The hospice people who brought him home from the rehab center after he was gone, she said, I need to have all the medication that we got for him. And so, because it needed to be destroyed. And if you don't know how to destroy medication, I'll show you how. You take a bottle of water. Here's a bottle of water. And here are all kinds of pills that he had. And I put them in the bottle of water. And now the final step is you take bleach or ammonia. We'll see if I can do this. And you pour it into the, you don't have to do a lot. You just pour a little bit in. Close that up. You put the cover on tight. I'm gonna put it on tight. Shake it up and then put it in the trash. You don't put it down the toilet. You don't put the pills by themselves in the trash. You destroy them. That was something I'm happy to have learned because I never knew what to do with them. I checked with the pharmacist to see if they could take back the bottles of pills that he had just been prescribed and never touched, and they said no, they can't take them back. At least in South Carolina they can't. And so now they're taken care of and they're going to go out with the trash this morning. Okay, on to things that I have done to make this time bearable as I've kept busy. There's something called the Soap Sack Project, where people make, they crochet or knit or somehow they sew, they make sacks you can put a cake of soap in for people in homeless shelters or women's shelters or various other places where people would want to wash themselves. And so this week I have been able to this is all I've been able to accomplish this week. So I made the first soap sack. This is moss stitch. I think it's called moss stitch. I don't know. It's the knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. And on the next row, you purl one, knit one. So it's kind of a, can you see that? You can see it's kind of a crumply one. And it had you crochet a little chain to hang the soap. And you put in a cake of soap and give it to whoever you're going to give it to. This one, I cast on 24 stitches and I worked for 8 1/4 inches and then cast off, bound off and sewed up the edges. The second one I made was, this is garter stitch, and this is an easy pattern. You cast on 23 stitches and you slip the first stitch, you knit to the last 2 stitches and slip the last 2 stitches with yarn in front. Then you flip it and you knit every stitch on the way back. So it's a 2-row repeat, very simple, very easy. When your mind is totally worthless, you can still do this. So we did this, and then at the end, when you got to the end, you do a 3-stitch I-cord. Actually, so after when you're binding off, when you get to the last 3 stitches, I think it was the last 3 stitches. Anyway, you knit 2 together, and then you do a 3-stitch, or maybe 2. I think it's 3-stitch I-cord, and then you hitch it. You have a long tail, and you stitch in the I-cord there, and then go around the edges and make the seam. So that is the extent of my finished objects for this week. And I feel pretty good having gotten that accomplished. The soap sack project website gave 11 different soap sacks to knit. And my intention is to knit every one of them. At least one a week. They're small projects. You've noticed that my projects have gotten smaller and smaller. But this is what I did this week, and I'm happy to have accomplished those. The one finished object, unfinished object, started object, work in progress I will show you is this. So this is called, these first 1, 2, 3 things is called the Diamond Delight Crocheted Blanket. It takes a fair amount of thinking. That's the back side. And it looks just fine in the back side too, but it's gorgeous on the front side. And what you're supposed to do is you have your main color, which was the cream, and then you have 4 other colors. And so you make stripes of the diamonds. And I have the yarn, I was doing it, and I could not focus on making it these last 3 weeks. And so I decided, then I said, okay, well, I'll just make it granny clusters. Well, that's what I did for 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 5 rows of granny clusters, and then I couldn't take that anymore either. So then I picked up stitches with my knitting needle. It's a US 5 knitting needle. Yes, US 5, maybe it's US 4, 7, I mean US 7, probably US 5. And now it's just gonna be a garter stitch blanket. So, and maybe by the time I get to the end, I'll be able to do another section of these. Or not, it just depends. I don't know where my head's gonna be. So, those are my works in progress. I had probably in February or so, I purchased an online spinning course, and it cost $147, and I had the money in my savings account, and I said, I'm gonna do this so I can become a better spinner. Even though my dear friends here have been helping me to spin better, I thought, well, I'll just do this because I wasn't able to go in person, and I can do this at home. Anyway, I started that and stopped it almost immediately, and now I've started again. And it is comforting to be able to sit at the wheel and spin yarn. It is a blessing. So handwork of all kinds is a blessing. Housework, still not so much, but family is here, and they're helping me get things together and move things out. I'm thrilled to be able to give away a good bunch of stuff, and it is going to make our home better. I am planning to do what I said I would do when I started this podcast a year ago. And I don't know if you call this a podcast, a channel, whatever you call this that I'm doing now. I intended to get my body together and my health together and our house together and get organized. Well, now it's only me and I should be able to do it. Not that my husband ever stopped me from doing it, but I just didn't seem to have, I had the desire, but not the will to carry forward every day. And I think that is the thing that I've learned, that every day we have to do what needs to be done every day. Don't let any days go past. If you're gonna eat better every meal. I think it's gonna make a difference. And I hope so. I hope so. I told my husband Sunday morning that when he sees me again, I'm gonna look different. And so is our house. So with that, I'll say, do good, be good. Let's do it now together. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the kind words that you have sent to me. Bye now.